Hi everyone. In this video I'm going to show you how I designed and created these adorable invitations with the new Cricut perforation blade. Keep watching. So we're going to start this demo in Design Space, recreating this card that I showed you at the beginning of the video. The first thing that you want to do is go to top right and assure that you've chosen your Cricut Maker because we're going to be using the perforation tool. We'll start by adding a shape to our screen. I'm going to make it white. And this is going to fold over in the assembly. So I'm going to unlock the size and I'm going to make mine 5 by 8. Of course, you can make any size that you want. You can make them smaller, like I did for the gender reveal cards, or you can make it larger, whatever you prefer. We're going to shapes and we're going to get a score line. We'll turn that sideways. Kind of center it and stretch it out the full width. I'm going to select both together, go to align and center. There we go. We need a second score line. We're going to duplicate it and I'm going to place it about a 1/2 inch down. If you're unsure of what a 1/2 inch looks like, you can always take a shape like a square. We'll unlock it and we'll make it 1/2 inch high. And we can measure it out using that little square as a ruler, or the rectangle as a ruler. We're going to take this score line and duplicate it again. And we're going to put it down at the bottom, about a 1/2 inch from the bottom edge. Go to our line type at the top and change it to perforation. We don't need that measurement anymore, so we'll delete it. So at this point, if you're going to add these embellishments with adhesive, at this point you want to select all of these together, right-click, and attach. But I'm going to be doing mine as print and cut, so I don't want to attach these yet. I'm going to Images. I'm going to search for Party. Okay, so we'll use Let's Party. We'll insert that. And for now, you want to leave your score lines and perforation line where it is because you need your graphic to fit in between. So you don't want it to be overlapping the score lines and perforation line. So we'll do that and we'll go back to image and let's get a party hat. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Or let's get this. This is cute. We'll put this in here. I'm going to change this color to, I think, a nice bright yellow. There we go. That's cute. And we'll type in a name. So it says, let's party with Robbie. And we're just going to size that down so it fits here. Let's party with Robbie. That's cute. So because I'm going to be using print and cut, I'm going to hide my score lines and my perforation line. I'm going to select all of these together, right click and flatten. There we go. We want to send to the back. And because I haven't moved anything, I can unhide my perforation line and score lines, and they will come back exactly where they should be. Now I'll select both together, right click and attach. And the main part of the card is ready. I want to create this little insert for it. I know that I've done 5 by 8, so I'm going to take a shape again. I'm going to make it white again. Of course, you can make these any color you want to. I'm going to unlock it, and we'll make it just slightly narrower and slightly shorter. So I was using 5 by 8. Half of that would be 5 by 4. So I'm going to go 4.9 on the width and 3.9 on the height. So I'm making this just a little smaller, as you can see, so that it doesn't interfere with the score line when it folds over. So we're going to add text to that. I'm going to add "You're invited." And we'll bring that up to our card. And we'll center it. Okay. So one thing I should show you is that you don't want any of your text to end up behind this fold, because that's where you're going to be gluing. So you want to grab your text and make sure that it's in this center area, like your top graphics. So we'll go "You're invited," and we'll add some more text. So we could do date, time, and where. And we'll make those smaller, and we'll put them in. Of course, you can fill that in by hand or fill them in when you add your text as you wish. And one more, we'll do RSVP. We'll make that smaller, and we'll put it in here. And you can add to it a phone number or an email address, whichever you prefer. We want to make sure that all this text fits inside of that area that is not glued. So we want to move it up, make sure everything fits within. We're going to select all, and I will flatten. If you're going to be writing this part with a pen, well, then you want to attach. And as you can see, this text will fit within the score line and the perforation line. We could even actually space it out a little more. I'm going to unflatten, take this down a little bit, make this a little bigger. We'll push it over. That looks good. We'll select all this together, right click and flatten, or attach if you're doing this with a pen. So there we are. I'm going to take this one off my screen. I don't need it now. I'm going to proceed to make it. We can see our print and cut on both parts. I'll click continue. And I'm going to select my Cricut Maker. I'm going to choose, I've already printed because I want to show you these next steps. I'll choose medium cardstock 80 pound and choose done. We can see that it asks me to use the scoring wheel, and additional tools will be the basic perforation blade and fine point blade. So I'm going to go ahead and print these out, and I'll be back to show you the cutting and assembly. So I've printed out the layers for my card. I have my scoring wheel, perforation blade, and regular blade ready to go. And I've taken out my stylus, scoring stylus, just because I wanted to remind you that you can use edit tools in your work screen to switch to the stylus if you don't own the scoring wheel. Also, the scoring wheel has the quick swap housing. So if you already own the scoring wheel, you won't need to purchase the housing with the new Cricut tips. You can order the tips only, and they will fit on your scoring wheel housing. So let's go ahead and load the scoring wheel or your stylus, and we'll get ready to cut our card layers. Get that set up. There are 2 score lines on this portion of the card. There we go. We're going to switch to our perforation blade. You don't want to be running your fingers on this. It is definitely a blade. It's number 12. And we switch to our regular blade to cut out the card. We'll unload this. I'm reversing my mat to unload this card because it is a new mat and quite sticky, and we don't want to cause too much curling on the card. I did a little at the top, but that's okay. It's going to be adhered. Take this away and prepare our insert layer. And this layer is just a straight cut with the fine point blade. I hope you can see in the video the perforation along and the 2 score lines that we added to this card. And there we go. We're all ready to assemble. I'm just going to put all this away, get my adhesive ready, and I'll be back to show you the assembly. It's very simple, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. We're all ready to assemble this card. I'm going to use my tape runner just because it's faster to use during a video. This is the gender reveal card that I made in the same way as this one. You can see the perforation. I hope you can see it. There you go. You can see the perforation. So this was the insert for it. And you can just give it a little bend and just tear along the perforation. So we'll go ahead and assemble this one. You're going to fold at your top score line, not the bottom one, the top one. Leave the bottom one flat. We're going to add our insert, and you want to add it equally to the bottom of the card and leave your score line free of the second layer so that it still folds nicely. So I'm just going to put a little adhesive in here. We don't need a lot for this demo. And we'll line it up at the bottom. There we go. So it doesn't interfere with that score line. Now for adhesive, we want to put our adhesive, if you can see, just here within the score line and on the edge outside of the perforation line. You don't want to glue on top of your perforation line because you won't be able to pull the card apart. Just flip it over and glue it down. Super easy to assemble, and you can use them for invitations, shower invitations, birth announcements, gender reveals, whatever you like, barbecue invitations. They're super easy to make, super fun with the new perforation blade. You can just tear it open. The children can pass these out without envelopes, which is really fun because all the information is hidden inside. So I hope you've enjoyed this how-to video. Please like it and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Stay tuned for more how-to videos with the new Cricut Maker tools.